Hello, welcome back to Blowing Off Steam, the comedy podcast that's very famous among only two
Two
people.
comedians, yeah.
Yeah, well, probably. We talk about comedy and about very important stuff in relation to comedy or maybe whatever. This podcast, you might get something from it, you might not. But sit here, enjoy. We have variety of guests. One of them is the very lovely Laura Lopez, right?
Laura
Laura
Lopez.
Laura
Lopez, yeah.
Lopez,
Hi,
sexiest lady
hello.
in the world. And
Well,
joining me,
hello.
co-host Omar Hifnawi.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Laura,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Laura and I'm an alcoholic. Ha ha ha. Cue me.
Welcome to the gang.
I'm a trilingual comedian based in Prague. I've been doing comedy for about 6 years, I think. I'm not really sure. And yeah, I'm trying to perform as much as possible, meet as many people as I can, exchange ideas, experiences, advice.
Mhm.
Here's the first question I have to you, which is it's gonna sound weird, but I saw you're doing a show in Russian soon. How the fuck do you know Russian?
Yes, so I lived in Russia actually.
Ah.
And I did the math and it was about 15 years ago. I can't believe that it was 15 years ago. I refuse to believe it. So not 15 years ago.
Not a lot changed. Same president, same everything.
Same president, yes, but I do see that there's huge changes, definitely.
Yeah, less cheese from Finland, but who cares, you know?
Well, they now import it from like other countries, and then they say it's not from Finland, it's from that country.
Actually, no,
But
they're opening the sanctions back with Finland, I think. I heard.
What do you mean? Oh, this is such an
Well,
oxymoron. What do you mean
I'm sorry.
opening the
I'm
sanctions?
sorry. Yeah, they're
canceling.
unsanctioning. Yeah, uncanceling Finland or whatever,
I'm
Mhm.
canceling
or
Finland.
Finland's uncanceling us, basically.
That,
Yeah.
that is awesome. I remember because I used to work in restaurants, and when the Crimea thing happened, so Finland stopped, exporting cheese, or Russia stopped importing cheese, and we were like, okay, so we got like the worst cheese in the world, and I
Uh-huh.
really didn't even want to know where they made it. Yeah, like you could see the difference, literally. The cheese was alive.
Is Finnish cheese really that big? I had no idea that they
Actually,
were
To be
it's
so good at
honest,
cheese.
no one knew, but apparently it is.
Uh-huh.
Well, I
yeah,
think it's not big. It's just the only people that buy Finnish cheese are Russians, and now because their economy is tanking now, apparently.
Mhm.
well,
Interesting.
Huh?
Finland economy
That's what I
tanking.
heard. That's what I heard.
Didn't know
Did
that.
you hear this in TikTok?
No, TikTok is sanctioned. Uh, so no, I heard it from a American comedian. So
So
it's
probably
true.
So the resource probably dates back to, or
It's
it
yeah.
comes back to TikTok.
Laura, I have a reverse line of questions that you like gave me.
Yes.
So I'm gonna reverse it. What's
Mm-hmm.
your advice for comedians?
My advice is, first of all, I've been thinking about this a lot. I would say to trust yourself. Trust yourself with your jokes. Like, of course, when you're a beginner, you don't know which way's up and which way's down. But I would say to definitely ask for advice, yes,
Mm-hmm.
but from people that you choose. Don't just take advice from everyone left and right.
Yeah,
Um, so ask for advice, but of course take it with a grain of salt, right?
yeah,
Cherry pick the advice that you do take, that you do want to follow, but otherwise trust yourself in your jokes and experiment, but also don't be delusional. Be a little bit delusional. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
do it, but you should know how to balance it. Know how to keep it still plausible delusion.
plausible delusion. I'm gonna use
Mhm.
that in my court case, I swear.
Nice.
um,
What are you being accused of?
living in Jordan, but
He is guilty, actually.
We can
Um,
see the proof, Your Honor.
yeah.
Your Honor, a cat.
She's like, I'll allow it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what she did to me? So every like evening, after I feed her and all that, she just goes away and then comes back. And yesterday, like, and every like evening, she comes and I have to sit outside. So she sits on
Mm-hmm.
my lap and sleeps.
Mhm.
She has to, this is like a rite of passage for me. I am her pillow. And
Mhm.
yet, 2 days ago, I didn't do that. She didn't. So in the morning, I'm about to go to my work. She jumps on my car and she just like paws all dirty. She just dirties the whole car.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, just dirties all of it and just looks at me and then literally just turns her butt to me and just walks away. You know?
I thought she like scratched it with her
Watch
paws.
me walk away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's like it's a blue car and it became just white with paws. I was
Mhm.
like, well, I have my graffiti on my car, so I'm happy with that.
It's
You know?
unique art. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. But what about advice? Like since like you say about like the advice or like trust yourself. There's times when Omar definitely noticed this a lot is when the audience come and they give you their 2 cents,
Mhm.
Oh.
and you have stand there and listen to them.
Mhm.
What goes on in your head while they talk?
I've never had this experience actually.
Wow.
Can we have your audience?
Yeah, okay.
Well, I don't, you can pretty much see my vibe, and also from like the stuff that I post online, that I am not I would never give people the impression that I welcome advice in general,
Mm.
not just for comedy. Um, I get advice from my friends, from my real friends, not comedian friends.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Oops. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry about Omar.
uh,
Yes.
so when real people tell me advice, I do take it into account because they see it otherwise, right? They see it from another angle.
Yeah.
And it does hurt your pride and your ego. You're like, but you have to swallow it, like a huge pill, like, and then maybe, I don't know, take a couple shots of something, and then you think about the advice, right?
Okay. So your way is that's why you said you're an alcoholic. I get it. Holy, holy. How many friends do you
How
have?
many advice do you get a
Yeah,
day?
exactly.
But no, no, no. Don't let's not confuse this, okay? This is not because of the advice. I was an alcoholic long before I was a comedian.
Uh,
Excuse you.
I think
Ah,
I think you should just make this thing where if people want to give you advice, they should buy you a shot before, just to like,
I'm gonna turn this into an opportunity. Come
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Wow.
you
Life
wanna
hack.
hear something like what Omar said is in Russia, there are times when like as you can see, I am very obvious that I'm an Arab, except the halo right now that's above my head. But
Mm-hmm.
but so I used to get Jehovah's Witnesses
Uh-huh.
who spoke Arabic fluently. Yeah. I have my
Mm-hmm.
own conspiracy theory about it, but let's not go the Joe Rogan, route. So they would keep on like just annoying and annoying. Every 2, 3 days, they would pop up out of nowhere. I would be
Mhm.
walking to the metro, suddenly two guys, Assalamu alaikum, my brother. I was like, what the hell?
Mhm.
Two white guys who are telling me my brother. I was like, what the hell
Mhm.
is this? The white brotherhood? I don't get it. You know? And and they would keep on telling me like give me the Jehovah's Witness the record. So I
Uh-huh.
realized one day I told them, listen, I am very hungry. I will listen to you if you buy me food.
Good.
And they would leave.
Ah,
Ah, okay.
I thought they were gonna take you.
He didn't.
We're like,
And that,
yes, that's right.
and that's what pissed me off. I was like, I swear I'll listen to you. But and then I started doing it with any other Jehovah's Witness who I would find
Mm.
like they would find me
Uh-huh.
and I would go, buy me food. And they would go, no, and they would leave. I was like,
That's how
okay.
you didn't join the KKK, basically.
Isn't their religion about giving and loving and whatever?
Wow.
You're asking the wrong
Basically,
people, Laura.
Mhm.
yeah, basically,
Yeah.
you know.
I had similar thing with Jehovah's Witness, but not Jehovah. It was the Buddha guys.
Buddha's witnesses? I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't. Like this guy just he comes up to me in Russian, goes, "You like reading?" And I'm like, "No." conversation
Oh, the
should,
people with the books. Yes.
yeah, with the books.
Yes,
And I'm
yes,
like,
yes.
it's like, and I'm like, no, the conversation should have ended here. But he goes, no, no, my friend, like he goes, and then he realized I have an accent in Russian, so he starts speaking in English. Then
Oh,
he finds out I'm Arab, and he starts speaking in Arabic, and I'm like, how
wow.
the fuck do I get this guy off me?
But also, why is that his job? If he speaks English, Russian, Arabic, why isn't he
Oh,
hello?
well, I think he's the I want to travel the world type of people, you know, like those.
Oh,
Because he
are
was
you-
he was telling me like, give me money, I'll give you the book, and you give me money for charity, which is
oh yeah.
not charity, it's called buying a book. Yeah, honestly, that's what he was doing.
So he was gonna donate your money to a charity?
No, no, he was gonna donate, take the money, and I think travel the world.
Okay. Yes, exactly. You should be like, no, I'm needy as well. So
Yeah. Do you have these like let's say interactions in Prague? Like, do you get some people who annoy you
mm,
like in this way, or
yeah, I mean we have a lot of unhoused people, and they stick to their regions, right? Like they know
Mhm.
which rayon is cool, where they get
Mm.
their money. But I usually like just shake my head and they leave me alone.
Oh, but I tried the shaking head. It doesn't work. They start sign language, and I gave them my sign language, which the only language we were
Which is a middle finger, probably. Is that
Middle
your
finger,
sign
basically, yes,
language?
yes, yes. you know,
universal.
and they're like, "Oh, you also know sign language. Let's have a conversation." It's like, fuck.
The one I could never do, which is people always tell me, say that you don't speak Russian or say that you don't speak
Oh
the
yeah.
language. I can't get myself to do it. I'm like, maybe I have a good heart.
Yeah,
Fine.
that means you're a good person.
I tried that once well, not once, a lot of times with the police in Russia.
Ah,
I know speak Ruski,
Yes, yes, yes.
and all this. And there was once when I stopped doing it because the policeman who stopped me started
Uh-huh.
speaking English. I was like, this is not gonna work, man.
mm,
You should pretend you don't speak English.
Well, the problem is I spoke like in English and he just spoke it. And there was a time in Russia when I lived in an ex-whorehouse. Don't ask me why.
That's another story.
That's a whole different like shebang. But so we were having a party. My flatmate at the time, she was like half French, and
Flatmate.
yeah,
No, I'm
no,
kidding. I'm
flatmate,
kidding.
no, no,
flatmate.
yeah, yeah.
She would cut me. She's an
Mm,
English like 4 foot girl from South London, from
uh-huh.
the place of Keith Richards. Okay,
Mm,
like she was
Nice.
gangster, and
Mm-hmm.
so we were having a party. The neighbors called the police on us. Why not? It happens. Of course, 3 a.m. having a loud party, and
For some weird reason, they complained.
yeah, like these guys, they're not that civilized. And
Mm-hmm.
so I opened the door and I start talking to them, and then my flatmate comes. She's only in a bathrobe because why not?
Mhm.
you know, and she starts speaking French, and one of the policemen starts speaking French and starts
Mhm.
hitting on her
Exactly.
with her Canadian boyfriend next to us.
Mhm.
Mm.
And I'm sitting there, I'm going to prison for the most random reason ever.
Being noisy after 11, or was it
Yeah,
10 a.m.,
because of
10
an
p.m.?
English girl, a French, who's also French,
Mhm.
and her Canadian boyfriend.
Mhm.
And like he starts speaking French. I was like, Russian police are going places, man.
And
Oh,
again, why do they keep those jobs? If they speak more than one useful language, why do you keep working there?
You
well,
can,
no, Russian police is a pretty profitable job. Like they take good bribes
Yes,
from
they get a lot
workers.
of bribes.
Yeah, yeah.
well, you guys call it bribes. I call it advance on future salary.
Oh,
I don't think I should be paying their salary though.
Well,
it's like
yeah,
like how it's mandatory to tip in America, it's mandatory to bribe in Russia. That's like the vibe I get.
Wait, what was the first thing you said? It's
It's
mandatory to what?
to tip in America,
Oh,
like tipping your waiters. So it's the
I
same.
know what tipping is, yes, but not
Ah,
not everywhere. Sometimes actually I take that back. Sometimes it is.
I didn't know that it was mandatory in the US.
it's
In some places, yes. Like some places it's ridiculous. Like they'll chase you down and like wrestle you to the ground if
yeah,
you
yeah. I think 15% minimum And if like the restaurants think it's
In
fancy,
some
then
places,
20. Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so next time we go to McDonald's, which we don't go because we're like
Boycott.
boycotting. Yes.
You want to know the weird? Now this is from TikTok, Laura. So yeah, take this information, whatever. But I saw like there's the self checkout or at McDonald's.
Yes.
You tip there. That's what I heard or saw.
Yes, I've seen it here too, actually, in Prague. It's like I'm ordering on this damn device and it asks for a tip. Would you like to leave a tip? And it even has like a smiley face, like, ah.
I like the thought that your comedic mind starts and goes, "Don't do comedy." That's my tip for you.
That's my tip for you.
Get a comedy buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, now that's an interesting start to the podcast.
It is, man.
Yeah.
Please,
Laura,
people, tip us on the podcast. It's mandatory.
yes,
But
yes,
tip us with money. We take any currencies.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Any currency, I don't care. Zimbabwean dollars. Just
Yes,
the
any.
number is fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably Swiss francs, but we take anything else.
Laura, is it um feasible? Like I always want to ask because well,
Mhm.
soon here in Jordan they might open like Schengen visa,
Aha,
which is gonna be effing hilarious. Like all the Jordanian men will be
we'll
like,
go.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah.
They opened like an electronic visa to UK for
Mm.
maybe 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, and now they closed it because all Jordanian men went to UK and then went to boats to, if I'm not mistaken, to like Latin America, like countries close to US, and then they smuggled like got to the US.
Wow.
Yeah, so the UK government said, "Holy shit, these guys don't do like no, no,
Let's
yeah,
not do it.
yeah, yeah." So is it feasible? Like, is it feasible? Is it? Can you like live through comedy in Prague?
In Prague, I would say no.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you already have like a good inheritance. Unless you have like additional income from something else, then it's hard to just survive on producing and performing.
But so
Oh,
why Prague though? Like why you chose Prague to do
Um,
comedy there?
because I live here.
Well,
So I moved here before I started comedy.
mm-hmm.
And I have a day job, thankfully, for my haters out there.
We are
um,
your
oh,
haters right now.
haters and lovers.
oh,
Um,
lovers, plural. Yes, yes. Thanks. Hey, I'm one of them. I'm one of your fans, Laura. Believe me.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Good to hear.
every video you put on YouTube, I press the like. I don't watch any.
Thank you.
The first 10 seconds, then I put a like.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
So
yes, like right now it's just I have actually since I believe last year or for 2 years now, I have it as like a side gig in my income actually because I really do have to say that I'm getting money from it.
yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like yeah, something like a little like a dessert, like a little something, but I don't live on it,
Mm. But like it pays, for example, food, rent, whatever, or
Yes, actually, it's like a couple thousand crowns,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
depending like if it's a good month or or an okay month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's like for some groceries or of course for beer, because alcoholism. And yeah, like it's fine, but it's also, I mean, I don't do it because of money, which is what a lot of people are trying to do here in Prague. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
really trying to live off of it. But for me, it's a hobby. Like it really is a hobby. It keeps me creative. It allows me to meet people, of course, travel, but I don't want it as my day job. I don't want it as my only job?
Yeah. It's the same with Gary Goldman, but like amazing, like American comedian.
Mhm.
And he like there was in 2019 he made like 365 tips every day. He would post a tip on
Uh-huh.
Twitter, now X, whatever.
Mhm.
And one of his tips was don't leave your day job.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's good to have a day job because first of all, I need experiences to write comedy, right? Like if you just live in comedy, then I feel like you're just in the water, and then you know what I mean? Like it's too
Yes.
much.
Yes.
And I get tired of it. I get tired of trying to find everything funny. Like, okay, the vase fell with the flowers. What can I write? No. Um,
Mm.
It's a
and
simile,
What
which
what
I
what
love
is it?
for depression. Yeah.
What is it that you usually write about? Like personal stuff or
yes,
observational?
I'm very egocentric, very self-centered in that case. Like in the comedy case, I talk about myself and about observations, of course, but mostly anecdotal, like things that happen to me,
Mm-hmm.
or my friends sometimes give me their stories. And
Mhm.
they're like, oh my God, I have this, you know, like maybe you can use it. And at times I have taken their ideas or like their situation and said that it was mine, like that
Mhm.
it happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
And trips, yes, and I talk about my traveling as well.
Oh,
What's your like thought about like do you think it's bad to take your friends' ideas and have it as yours like even though they gave you permission to do that?
Allowed? I don't think so. No, no,
Mm.
no. Like, and maybe it also depends on how you use it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you can explain, right? I have a friend who this and this and this.
yeah.
Or sometimes it's just easier if
Yeah.
you
It's
talk
Yeah.
about it.
yeah.
Like it
It's
just cuts out the middleman, right?
yeah. It's
Mm-hmm.
much better even for like what I noticed, even for the audience, it's much better to personalize it than
Yeah.
to make, as you said, like through a medium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Julian, I forgot what I wanted to ask. Oh, um, so you said that, for example, you get tired from trying to like get ideas or like to squeeze basically your brain to get ideas.
Mhm.
Can that be also due to, for example, burnout from comedy? Or
Definitely.
and how do you deal with the burnout?
So yes, like according to this, yes, it is because of burnout. Like I have a board of ideas that have been there, I think, for more than a year, honestly, more than a year. And I have not gotten to it because it's like performing or traveling. So you have to keep the material that you're doing. You're just here. You don't have time for writing new stuff.
Hmm.
I just take like a few days off of
Mm-hmm.
performing. Um, and or I just do like the open mics,
Hmm.
which is not like the pressure of a showcase.
Yeah.
And I travel like again the same thing, going at least like a day trip or like leaving Prague really helps me.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
you tour around Europe or where do you tour usually?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I've
Mm.
been invited to quite a few places, especially this month. It was a really good month. And so I was recently in Slovakia last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, where was I? In Olomouc, which is a smaller town here in the Czech Republic.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, in another city, České Budějovice. So that's like a day trip. And just the change of scenery already is refreshing, you know, because you're not just in this routine, walking through the same streets and doing the same things that you do
Yeah.
every day. Just a change of scenery can really be refreshing, and it helps you like mentally to like remove your blindfold, like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this
Plus change of alcohol. Like I think it's different, the alcohol
the
from every city.
percentage.
Yeah.
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 Um, uh, Another like question, and this I actually wanted to ask Omar
Yeah.
before. Um, when did it click for you? Like I talk about comedy that at one point it clicks that,
Hmm.
oh, now I know how to write a joke. Now I know how to let's say make almost everybody laugh.
Hmm.
Do you remember when did it click for you?
That's a really good question.
Thank you, thank you. I have one every 2 years. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say I don't know if I had that aha moment, like, yes,
Uh-huh.
now it's now. Um, but maybe when me personally, when I compare audiences, like if I
Mm-hmm.
could make a really difficult room laugh, like we know that this room is like sometimes it's great, sometimes it's terrible, like there is no in between. When I did well there,
Uh-huh.
that's when I was like, okay, yeah, I can do it. I can
Ah,
make
Mm-hmm.
okay.
people laugh.
Cool.
Because
Omar,
in a
go ahead, please.
place that always has a good crowd that is welcoming and they laugh and they yeah, that's not gonna help you grow.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
They're just saying good things instead of like really like cute criticism, you know?
I like
Well,
that word, cute criticism.
Because it's not like
Yeah.
not
Omar.
aggressive.
Uh-huh.
well, for me, I think like the time would be it's I think it's I remember coming up with a joke, and in my head I'm like, this like structurally it's perfect. Like it has
Uh-huh.
to work. I perform it, nobody laughs. No, everybody like it got a laugh, and I'm like, that's how a joke is written. It's just like, boom. Like that's what I think is like. Again, like I obviously still fail from time to time,
Yes, yes, yeah.
but like,
Also, like I remember I was watching, you had well, you have a clip on Instagram where you gave us like how a joke progressed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
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 Now,
that's
yeah,
cool.
it's a very nice like clip. I wasn't totally just enamored by Laura. I was listening to it.
Mhm.
So one thing is, I want to ask, like for example, with me, I have this problem is which I think it's a problem. For example, I start with a line. I have a joke about my name,
Uh-huh.
and then that joke through the years becomes bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem here is that sometimes the audience have already heard the first joke,
Yeah.
so they get bored of like, no, no, wait, 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 it gets better. Just,
Mm-hmm.
wait 3 more minutes.
Mhm.
Do you like what's your process in creating, let's say, a 3 to 5 minute set of about the same topic? So for me, I don't create on this like I don't sit and write the whole topic. I start with a small part and then through the days it grows bigger. What about you?
I would say with like the newer stuff that I'm trying out, it for me it has to have a theme.
Hmm.
Like I don't have a lot of jokes that are unrelated, like a lot of
Yeah.
one-liners that are just about this one topic. It has to have a theme. The one that I'm working on right now is about being American. I'm like, I literally can be so American. And every joke itself talks about this, about something related to the US.
Uh-huh.
So yes, I also dissect like the first one, the intro, right? Um, I'm Mexican American. So, okay, I'm just going to reveal it. um,
No, you don't have to.
I
People have
can,
to go watch, go
I'm
watch.
happy to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes, so I'm Mexican American. So in the morning, every morning, I actually get up and I have the choice. Hmm, do I want to be from the corrupt, dangerous country? Or do I want to be from the corrupt, dangerous country with good food? I'll be
Ah,
Mexican today.
okay,
Yes, let's do
okay.
it.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So this already opens up like, okay, it's about America. And then my next one is also, yeah, it keeps the
The
theme of,
theme.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
America, America.
Hmm.
So I feel like I don't just write one joke at a time. I write like the whole,
Cool.
like at
Like the
least
bit.
5 minutes. Yes, like at five at least. Not one-liners because they're not one-liners, but just short observations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Could never write like that. I'm I'm just
No, Omar, I like his way. If I can speak for you,
yeah.
Omar,
Oh sure.
which every Arab does, you know, is that like he picks a topic, like for example, or an observation or whatever, and he just makes sure that the joke about this has good jokes in it,
Uh-huh.
and then he jumps, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
to another.
Like yeah, I like jump around. Like
Uh-huh.
I remember like and like I recently realized how much I jump around because like I could have had like two jokes back to back. Like they
Mhm.
could have fit well together, but they weren't written to be like one after the other. And I
I
realized
see.
I think like I did a Hitler joke
Uh-huh.
and then like
Classic.
and then something about uh, the door
Oh.
ladies
Ah.
and then another Hitler joke and I'm like, oh, the two Hitler jokes could have been back to back.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, now I'm trying to actually structure myself more, but
Yeah,
it's too
like
much.
that's what sometimes like because I watched him a lot when we were like in Russia performing me and
Yeah.
Omar. I would like sit and listen to him do, and then in my head I was like, wait, why did this happen? What happened
Mhm.
here? Tell me more about this. This is of course in my head. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like these questions, which I should do to my own set, but you know,
It's
we
hard.
we give advice that we don't use. You
Yes.
Yeah.
know.
CCC. Exactly. Yeah. Yes, yes.
And
And but like the sorry, the
Mm-hmm.
uh my yes, again, this is very, very personal. People can do however they want. The reason why I do this in sets is that now I know I have 7 minutes about being American,
yeah.
and then this is going to grow. So this is my first 7 minutes of my next hour,
Hmm.
right? Because right now I have like 30 minutes of new stuff. So I have my multicultural Mexican, that's 1 hour. And now
Mm-hmm.
my new 30 minutes, I already have this 7 minutes that I can extend to 10.
How long is your longest bit? Like where you talk about one topic?
One section.
Like yeah, what's
Mm, I think they're all like around 7 to 10.
fuck.
Seven to
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 each one.
I know Abed has like one bit about his name, which is like around 7 minutes or
Seven
something.
Uh,
minutes. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Fucking.
Yeah.
I think my longest bit is like 1 minute.
Then
Like really, it
it's
is.
really uh,
Yeah.
oh,
also
so
style.
so when you write like a 7 to 10 minute bit, this is actually a question that we ask often to
Uh,
ourselves,
uh,
which is when do you know, okay, that's it.
yeah, this is a question that I also ask myself. I would say like when you know it's good,
Hmm.
Mhm.
you're never gonna know if it's good. Like it can always be better. It can always be, you can always add some acting to it. I
Yeah.
really like the acting. I really like acting and expressions. That's like my thing. I really play like with my face and my right and the
Yeah.
oh the body language. But not so long that you can make it boring, right? That the audience is like, when is this gonna be over?
Uh,
So it's a work in progress.
I have a question. Were you always good at like acting and like act outs and like playing with like, well, I was gonna say playing with your body, like uh acting out, or did it take time for you to develop it?
Oh no, it definitely took time. Yes, like, and this is actually something that I see in newer comedians that they don't use the 100% of their brains. No, I'm kidding. Of their capabilities. Like you can do so much. And I learned this from my really good mentor, Chat Max. He talked about body language and sometimes even just the microphone. Like using the
Hmm.
microphone in the right way can be a huge tool
Yeah.
and it can
Hmm.
help you so much. But like subtle movements or like positions of the face or the way that you look, the way that you set your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it can really change a bit, but I learned it with time. I saw my own videos and I was like, ugh, of course, cringe first, and then less cringe. Still a little bit cringe, but you can see, yes, like it's detrimental that you see yourself on stage, that you can see it.
I have like the same because like when I started, Abed was the one who told me record yourself, and it took me like a while just to not hate my voice. And now he's telling me video, you have to do videos, and I'm like, if I do videos, I'm gonna like shoot myself. I like it took me like 2 years to like, okay, yeah, that's how I sound. Like, fuck it. If I see myself, I was just gonna be like, fuck, man. Like,
This is where delusion is your best friend. You have
oh,
to believe that you are awesome. Like, nobody's born with this arrogance or confidence, whatever you want to call it. You just have to, yes, I look great. And if you
mm,
say it enough times, you will believe it.
There is there was an advice that I saw. Well, I heard a comedian say if how like when you record yourself a video, play it back, but play it back point like lower the volume and then
Uh-huh.
play it back 0.5 seconds faster or slower, and you will see your nervous ticks.
mm,
Yeah,
I
you
never heard
will.
that one.
Yeah, you will see like when you're nervous,
Mhm.
it will still like it's like a how do you call it? Like an advertisement.
Uh-huh.
You
mm-hmm,
know, for example, for me, I used to like do this with
Yeah.
my sleeves a lot.
mm-hmm.
You know, a lot, and I only saw it when I was like, why am I doing this? It has no place. You
Mhm.
know, it has nothing in it. Um, so when you talked about acting out, when do you think like do you sometimes find yourself flailing
Mm,
like too many let's say unneeded movements in the set?
I don't think so. Now I
Mm.
have it like controlled. Now I know which ones are there and which ones.
Yeah.
So I already have it, like I know the cues already.
Mm-hmm.
But also like there are people that just don't need
Hmm.
the
Act out.
body. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's their persona, like that's how they are, like they're supposed to look nervous and speak in a low voice and um, it's depending on the comedian.
Hmm.
So when you write a bit, do you write the act out? Like let's say you say American, or you have to do like you write do this or whatever, or
I don't write it, I think I just feel it, but then when I write like the hard copy, the one that okay, I know that this works,
mm-hmm.
then I write, yes, in little
Same.
asterisks, flips. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Valley
same, same.
accent. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
to have it,
I do this. I do exactly the same. You know,
right?
but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
turn heads, do whatever. Like
You
yeah,
have to. Yes, you have
well,
to.
but for me, at first, it comes out like as a form of improvisation, involuntary, the thing, and then I either remember it,
Mhm,
you know, and then I write it out, you know,
mhm.
to not forget it, because a lot of the times when the pause, I have to actually write pause,
Yes,
Mm.
1/2
me too.
seconds. Yeah,
Mhm.
you know,
Actually,
very.
like I also I realized this like recently, like some comedians don't know how to pause. Like I real to one comedian, like I realized she does the punchline. She doesn't give the punchline time to breathe, and then she says something that's not related.
Oh,
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I just because Abed and I were talking about this comedian like a while ago. Like she has good jokes and
mhm.
everything, like because sometimes we help her write, like
Yeah.
so we didn't know she has good jokes. But then Abed told me, I don't know, man, there's something wrong about her, and I don't know what. And
About
I
her set.
about the way she performs.
About her, yeah,
Oh,
about her,
about her.
not
Oh,
her,
her on
not the
stage. Okay.
person.
Yeah, 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 about
Not her
her,
as a person.
not
But
her. No, 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 no.
No,
Yeah,
that's
oh,
judgmental for later. That's,
yeah, yeah. No, she's a beautiful lady. Beautiful. Oops, I gave it away. She's a lady, people. But yeah, and I think I figured it out. I'm just scared to tell her, and then find out that that wasn't the problem, and it's just something else.
This is why we don't give unsolicited advice unless they really ask you, like, for real. And when I ask for advice, I usually say that, like, give me your honest advice, but with sugar. Like, say it in a nice way.
Oh no, I had my comedy buddy. One of the now I'm getting some background music. I apologize.
Ah,
Oh,
it's okay. No.
uh-huh.
So
Oh shit. Okay. But is yeah. Actually, I this is something I hate. I don't like asking for advice. Maybe it's because of the comedians I've been around.
Uh-huh.
They are too nice. Like you ask them,
Oh,
how did I do? Oh, you're
mhm.
amazing. The
Doing well.
funniest guy
Yeah.
in the room. Zero laughs, but they tell him he's amazing, and I hate it. That's why I never trust their advice anymore. I'm like, if they tell me I was good, I'm like, fuck, this joke sucks. Probably, like, I should throw it away.
Get new comedy buddies. Yeah.
No,
Like,
I have one strict guy on me. Like,
yeah.
like this is the only comedy buddy I have. Like, we he tells me like, man, you fucked up. You don't
Mhm.
know your shit, and I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
thank you, man. But some other people, like, I see them, and I know why they're doing it. They don't wanna. It's like the first. They usually do it to first timers or people who are new.
Mhm.
They don't want them to hate comedy, so they're like, you're good. But I don't know. I think it's just bad for the comedian.
Yeah,
That's
I
the,
know what you mean. Like,
like
they're just protecting this person's ego, right? And confidence. Like,
mm-hmm.
don't shoot them down, but there has to be a balance, like honesty and uh, constructive advice. But they should ask for it. Like, they should ask for it from someone that they confide in, someone that they trust, not someone who has been doing comedy the same time as you, or who performs less than you, who has less experience than you. Then that is just bad. What do you call it? Being bad team members. Like, it's
mhm.
Yeah.
a bad colleague. Like, no, no.
Yeah,
You,
like
uh-huh.
one thing. Sorry, Omar, one thing I
Mhm.
have is I used like when I started comedy, I had my comedy buddy who's after a set, we would go
Mhm.
somewhere, we would smoke shisha, and I would sit with him and tell him, destroy me. Don't be nice,
Mhm.
destroy me. And
Yeah.
he would literally just
Mhm.
destroy my set. You said this is unneeded, all of that
Yeah.
stuff. And the second one, which from Jerry Corley, like the joke doctor, he said
Mhm.
one of the most amazing, yeah, I don't know if you know him, like he has a book called Breaking the Comedy DNA.
Mhm.
It's really like one of the best books for comedy I've seen.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And he said for him, when someone comes and asks for advice, he said, tell them this, have three follow-up questions, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and if they have at least one follow-up question, that means they're still interested in,
In the advice.
yes,
Mhm.
in progress. If not, you know that there is no need.
Mhm.
And what I don't know if you have the same thought as me, because me and Omar, we've seen this too much.
Mhm.
One of the worst things you can say to a performer or a comedian, like when they're starting, is good job. Do you agree or not agree?
Um, I disagree, actually.
Hmm.
I would
Mm-hmm.
say I say that so that the person knows it's not like I didn't say good job at the stage, like good job on continuing, like good job that you actually got up
Ah.
and tried it.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, you're still here. This is yeah. Or it just means like, I see you. I
yeah,
see that you're working.
yeah. No,
I don't
no,
know. I still get like comedians would like ask me for how did I do, and I usually tell them the same thing. Is like, I didn't watch you, even though I
Oh
watched
yes,
them.
that's also, it's the easy way out.
Yeah, I
no.
just because if I tell you, I'm gonna tell you I didn't like it.
Uh-huh.
This was hack. Like
Mhm.
I had like we did like a roast battle recently, and I wanted to kill myself.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
Oh, that
Omar.
was that was really this last weekend, no? I saw the ads.
Yeah.
Last Saturday, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was hosting it, and I invite the first guy on stage, and he he started with material, and material that never worked, and he did the most hacky joke ever. He goes, "This is kind of like sex." Oh, and I'm like, what the fuck? Just wrote, and he lost. I was like, fuck, thank God you lost, man.
Clearly.
I like that Omar is so extreme in comedy that he might kill himself for someone else's joke.
Because of like the secondhand embarrassment.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, was this guy, I've seen him kill the audience before,
Mhm.
and I did my best. Like I was shitting bricks because I was hosting the roast, and I didn't want to do any of my material. I was doing all new, so I'm like, I don't know what's worked, and I got the audience to laugh, and he was the first guy on stage, first guy to hold the mic after me, and he was doing this stuff that I know doesn't work, and I'm like, no.
But that's not, yeah, you should not internalize that. It's actually, you can really fix it as a host. You should be like, yeah, so clearly not everyone's funny. You're
I,
just
I, did-
choosing random people from the street. These are not comedians. Let me remind you that.
I did that one time with him. I go like, I'm not gonna say like what I said, but I basically said, I thought, I can't even say, like,
Yes, no.
let's
Keep
say
it.
let's say he's black. I said, I thought every black guy was funny. You proved me wrong. Destroyed the room. This guy hated me. He wanted to fight me, and I'm like, fuck.
So you should fight him.
I can't fight with the. That's why I do comedy.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
he's just
Fight
a
him with the
casual.
mic. Yeah, challenge him to a roast.
How do you deal with egos between comedians around you?
This is the hardest question, and I plead the fifth. I'm
Fuck
kidding.
Mm,
you
No,
know.
no, no. Yeah, this is really hard. This is why. So, in my experience, the comedy scene here in English and the comedy scene in Russian are extremely different because of that. In the Russian comedy scene, everybody helps each other. You don't see the other comedian as competence. They're your colleagues. You're
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
working towards the same goal, and that's to keep it up, to keep the comedy club going, to cooperate,
To keep away from going back to Russia. I get it. I'm
possibly.
getting
And um, I told the experience of the Russian comedy scene to an English comedy buddy or person, and he was like, "Wow, we should do that in our community." And I was like, "Have you seen the people that we have here?
Mm,
Like,
Yeah.
it would not work. It would not work because." Yes, like again, like in my situation, I don't take advice from anyone or from just anyone, right?
Yeah.
I have to trust this person, and usually I don't take advice from men.
Do do we?
uh,
I really have a question. So that's a very interesting like idea. Do we? I don't know. I don't even know the meaning of the word properly. Do we mansplain your jokes?
Do I
Do we?
explain
Do
the
we?
jokes
No, no,
to
no,
my
no. Us like
oh
men. You said like especially not from men.
uh-huh.
So do they
ah,
try to mansplain your jokes to you?
No, but they
Ah,
try to add their perspective to my situations.
yeah, yeah.
Their
but like, but
white male, their straight white male perspective to my situations.
so it's
Mhm.
not like they're giving you punchlines. They're telling you, "Oh, do this," basically. Like,
Yes.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, that would be annoying if anyone did it.
But also like they people have not done this, but I would not go to a man for advice like that. And if I do go to this person, it's because I respect them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I, you know how for me, I understand it because in Russia, one thing that Russian audience loves is the cultural things.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, oh, an Arab, you should talk about bombs, terrorism,
Yes.
blah blah blah,
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah, super hacky.
It's not about I told like I don't believe there are hacky jokes. I believe you
Mhm.
can
Oh
do
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you want, you know, but make it unique to you,
Yes, yeah,
you know. And they would tell me like, oh, you should like do a joke about bombs. It's like
Mhm.
man, I really don't want to do that.
Where's the creativity in that? Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
yes, yes.
also with Abed, I remember one situation where the
Mm.
joke worked perfectly, and he goes, add a bomb there for no reason. Like I remember one situation there,
Mm.
and we were both thinking, but like why? Like just because I hate this stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Mhm.
it's very fun. I cannot say that I understand. Like for me, when we write with, which will lead us to my next question or next like idea. One thing like when we write, me and Omar with female comedians, yeah.
Mhm.
What we do because we had our workshops and
Mhm.
we would try to help new comedians like come up with stuff and like punchlines or premises or whatever.
Mhm.
One thing that I remember that we try is we never put we are like for me, I never put like my perspective as you said.
Yeah.
Uh, but on the other hand, I would look at it as like it's a different perspective you can maybe use and reverse
Mhm.
it,
Yeah.
you know. And here leads me to my next. So there are a lot of open mics in Prague, if I'm not
Mhm.
like because you perform in three languages, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are a lot of open mics. Uh, do you get the host who does, oh, the next comedian is a woman.
No. No,
Oh,
no,
you're
no.
so
Oh
lucky.
wow.
I really want to go to Prague. Right.
No, actually, wait, let me take that back.
Oh,
Yes,
fuck.
Abed was tired of being called a woman. That's why.
in the
Yes.
in the Russian scene,
I'm a bit
Ah.
lazy.
in the Russian scene.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um, and I just want to share this because one time there was an equal amount of men and an equal amount of women at the Russian comedy show. Oh God, they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna see this. And one woman was like, "Oh my God, this is sexism. There's too many women. 5 and 5."
Mm. Nice.
So no, 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 no. In the English scene, no, there isn't. In the Spanish scene, no, because I'm in charge of the Spanish scene. So no, that's not a thing.
Gangster.
Yeah. Actually, here's a question I want to ask you. It's kind of weird, but I want to hear a woman's opinion on it. I was in the workshop with this girl, and she had like a super serious topic. It was about like victim blaming,
Mhm.
and I was telling her, "Hey, be careful. It's such a serious topic. You might have to make jokes about the victims, or
Mhm.
you're gonna be like near that territory." And I want to know, like, is it true like that from your experience? Would you say that what I said is right or not? Like,
Well, first of all, it's your opinion, right? Opinions are like names. Everybody has one.
uh,
And you have a right to it. Um,
I didn't.
it's,
I
I would
didn't
say,
have a right to my name, Laura. My father made me this, and I swear to God,
to a name.
years ago, he told me, "Don't name your son what I named you." I was like, "Thank you, thank you."
mm,
Yeah,
You
sorry
have his
for.
permission. I would say, why not? Like you're inputting your idea on her. And yes, if it is something too serious, then this is why people are going to get tense, right? Like, oh, this is a serious topic. She's talking about this. It can also be triggering to other people. So you do need to have some release, right? Like, okay, okay. So then she made fun of this. Okay, now it's fine.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Like the thing with this, the when you write like with other comedians, is sometimes it's very hard to tell them like this is what I think. You
Mhm.
can use it. You don't need to use it. Do whatever you want with it.
mm.
You know.
Yeah.
And
Anyway, yeah.
yeah. And
I don't
and
hear anything.
I neither do I actually, but
well, I in my head it's like you guys hear it, so I don't want to annoy you. And the thing like when we tell them like, oh, use it, don't use it, this is on you. Sometimes they
mm,
take that personally.
mm.
Oh,
So,
I mean, yeah, it depends.
Actually, I have a new rule actually at the workshops. Well, I made it up, which is if I give you a joke and you don't start performing in 2 months, I'm taking the joke back. Especially like if I
Yes,
like
you
it.
can use it yourself.
Yeah, because I gave this joke to this guy. It was about like how in Russia gays are are compared to terrorists a lot, and I thought the joke was good, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
you never started performing it, now it's my joke, and if
Yes.
he fucking comes up to me about it, I'm gonna be like, go fuck yourself.
Yes, it's your what do you call it? Intelligence. What is it?
That's a big word for us.
Property intelligence,
Mm,
intelligence mark. What is it called? I don't know what it's called.
trademark.
No, but like it came from your brain.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I'll ask my
I don't
Alexa.
have a brain, honestly.
Yeah. Do you like you said how like in your set, do you mix
Intellectual property. Sorry.
Ah,
oh okay.
nice.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Yes. Okay. So
It's fine.
in your joke, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
like in your jokes, do you try to mix like different types of comedy? Like for example, do you like put a like a quick one-liner, a quick quip, or is it just you fix on telling the observation itself, like or
No. Yes, I try to like at this point, I don't see I don't see joke types.
cool
super progressive of
cool.
you, Laura.
I'm not, I don't discriminate.
All jokes matter.
Hey, I even love hecklers, all right? Like
Uh,
that's how tolerant I am. And I just see that it's funny. And then I'm like, oh, this is a callback. Oh, okay, this is a whatever, a one-liner.
Mhm,
Yeah, I don't see joke types.
mhm,
I actually like recently found a way to deal with hecklers, which
Uh-huh.
is because before then I would just yell at them.
Mhm.
Now what I just realized is I take everything they say and flip it on them, and it actually fucking works. Like
How? Give me an example.
I was trying to remember
You
like
know what it's like? It's like, you know, when someone says yeah and you reply yeah, and that's it.
no, but like my idea was like this girl, she was talking, and every sentence she would say, I would try to show her, like I think she was talking, she was telling oh, I remember, she was goes like she asked her, why are you talking to your friend, and she goes, oh, I want to understand what the show's about, and I'm like, yeah, if you shut the fuck up and listen to me, I would have said,
You'll
well, I didn't say
understand.
shut the fuck up, obviously, I didn't, I was more polite because I was hosting, but I told her like, hey, if you were quiet, I would have told you. And like this went on for like 3 minutes or something, and every time she would say something, I would just tell her, no, you're in the wrong here, you need to listen to me. And it was getting laughs, and I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of cool, like I never knew you could do that.
What's your process then? Like since you talked about hecklers, what's your process with hecklers? What's like how do you react to them? What's like the let's say the first thought that comes to your head?
I don't have like a formula. I would say it
Mm.
depends on what kind of heckler it is. Like
Uh-huh.
if it's a drunk person, let it go. Like you cannot fix that person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot fix that man.
Oh, I
Uh,
have a story for you about a drunk heckler when I used to host. And he was like being loud, interrupting comedians, and I was hosting. So I
mhm,
got on stage, like after a comedian, I got on stage and I like talked to the heckler and I got him to stage
mhm,
and I tell him, "You look like you can tell a joke," and I made him stand
mhm.
to tell the joke, and he just because he's shit-faced drunk, he just stood, looked at the mic, looked at the audience, almost pissed himself. That's what's in my head, and just literally put his head down and left the stage.
Mhm.
And at the time, my friend Kirill Voronin, he was like also a comedian who's now in Georgia. Uh, he performs in English and Russian, but he was like behind the DJ booth, and he went, "Oh my God!" And literally after that, not one person would heckle.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy's
I
gonna.
think that was an easy heckler. Like
It it
no,
was
there are people who don't quit.
I was lucky with that. I was
Yeah.
very, to be
Yes,
honest, lucky
yes.
with that. Plus, I had the bouncer outside just in case.
Exactly. No, then it's easier, yes, when you have help.
Yeah.
But I think that it depends on what kind of heckler it is, because sometimes like you have the people who maybe heard, oh,
We can
Hello?
hear you,
Her
Laura.
internet is acting up.
Okay, okay. Oops. Laura's off. We're gonna edit this in post.
Technic-
Hecklers.
Hecklers, yes.
yeah.
What was I saying? Yeah, so sometimes there can be hecklers who know the rules, but they still want to participate. Like they want to be in the show. Like, yeah. So I ask them, sometimes I just ask them, like, whatever topic I'm talking about. Last night, actually, I talked about the US, and the guy was like, oh, yes, yes, I knew it. Yeah. And I was like, have you been in the US? And he's like,
Mhm.
no, but I just know that it's shitty. And I was like, okay, thank you. And then I just moved on.
Nice.
But if they keep like going, then I would just again like talk to them and try to understand why they're heckling. Like,
Uh,
okay, like, are you celebrating something? No, is this your girlfriend? Like, so do you have like a relation to the whatever topic I'm talking about? And then ask people to give them a round of applause because that's what they want. They want attention, and then just move on. Or just tell them like, hey, can I get like finish, my therapy session right here? Like, can I?
Mm,
Because I'm gonna kill myself otherwise. Like, yeah, maybe. Can I?
wow.
Laura, you can never kill yourself. Who will drink the alcohol? Anyways.
Yeah.
I
Beer
would hire
companies.
an FBI agent to do it. It's agent, if you're listening to this, don't do it yet. I'm not ready.
To be
Be-
honest, I kind of disagree with that because they couldn't even catch one notice one 20-year-old shooter. You want them to plan in back of our
Exactly.
head?
Oh.
Shit. I wanted to ask, what's like, is there like a certain heckle you get most, and you already like built like you have a quick reply to it already?
Answer to it. Um, yes, there's like this one reaction that I get to one of my jokes. And yes, now I use it because then there's a joke after that. Like there's a
Mm-hmm.
joke, and then the reaction of people like, or like, ow. And then I have another joke after that.
Oh, like, is
uh,
it a serious topic?
No,
Ah, it's
I love how serious she said. She wasn't like, no, it's not serious.
it's
nice.
not. No, it's just something that makes you go like,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
yeah.
Now here's another thing. So since again you go to open mics, you have your the shows, everything. How effective is music before introducing the comedian is for you?
We don't do so much music here. We don't
Mm-hmm.
do
Uh-huh.
music except like, yeah, the beginning before like the whole show starts. And I remember somebody told me this um just a few weeks ago. They were like, oh, hey, do you think that we should have like the music before each comedian so that it can like show the personality of the blah, blah. I think if it's something that you guys do, then yeah, if the public is used to it, then that must be cool that you can choose your own song. Like, yeah.
You know
What
something
song
how
would you choose for
what song
you?
would you choose for you?
I have one in Spanish that really channels how I feel, and it's a
Despacito.
bunch of bad words. No, it's like chinguen a su puta madre, and
I know
it's
puta, which bitch, madre is mother. That's
Thank
all I
no,
you.
could.
it means harmony,
Ah,
unity, love.
I
You
fucked
liar.
messed up. I'm
I
nice.
like you said harmony, love, but her eyes are like, no, they're not. Uh,
Harmony.
something I noticed about how the music affects when like we did open mics back in Russia, and I was behind the DJ. Uh,
Mhm.
so it really affected how the audience get charged up, especially for
Oh,
AC/DC.
uh-huh.
Yeah, but
Oh, of
it's more
course.
it's more it's more of a bar setting,
Mhm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know. And we had a show that was not going well. Like the host did 40 minutes.
We already know
You
the
already know
host.
the host.
I
The
have
host
experience with that.
yeah, yeah, fucking hell.
We
40
all do.
minutes to the point he did so much that I was like right next to him behind the DJ booth, and I went, bro, get off the stage. And the audience cheered for me, you know. And
Yeah.
so by the end of it, we had like good comedians, we had comedians who were not doing so well. And
Mhm.
at the last comedian, I put AC/DC, and the comedian gets on stage, and the audience were still clapping to the music. They
Uh-huh.
literally just like went
Mm.
back up.
Mhm.
You know, this is when I really noticed. Oh, for me, from my experiences, hosting and all of that, is how much music would affect the audience. Plus, not like sad music, you know,
Of
you know,
course.
which happens a lot. Like there's times when I got introduced to the stage on "Fly Me to the Moon" by Frank Sinatra.
No, like this is where you come in with like strict rules. It has to be like a feel-good music,
Mm.
whatever
Yeah,
song.
yeah,
But it sounds like it's just another tool to get the audience to this mood. It's
yes,
another instrument for it. That's super cool.
We have
yeah.
like at the stand-up store, we have like they for some reason they play like this Jay-Z song about New York,
Oh
just to
yeah.
prepare them for English stand-up. I don't know. I always think it's funny.
Racist.
It's just
Yeah.
like,
There's so many nice songs with the word Moscow in it. Like, come on.
well, they want you to feel like you're not in Moscow.
Oh yeah, they
They
want to
want to,
transport you.
yeah, they want to feel like, and like the thing is, if you realize there's like on the right of the comedian, there's this big sign that says Moscow stand-up store. So it's
Yes,
you
yes, yes, that's
never
right.
leave.
I really wish that at some point I'll perform there.
Oh,
Oh, we'd
you
love
have
to have you there.
you have
Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
Omar. He's the host there. He does everything. Like
yeah. I
he's in
do.
charge of that.
I
awesome.
One thing you said, like again, types of audiences. You perform in front of Russians, if I'm
Mhm.
not mistaken, Latinos, and
Yeah.
English speakers.
Mhm.
Is it, let's say, people from Prague, like right?
Check.
Czech,
check.
Check.
Czech. Yes, I was
Yeah.
about to say Czech. Czech who know these languages, or is it expats
It's a little bit of
or a
everything,
mix? A
actually.
mix. Yeah,
Yes, in the Russian scene, it is like all Russian speakers.
yeah.
Um, but there are actually the anomalies that are Czech and speak Russian.
Mhm.
Mhm.
In the English scene, it's a lot of expats and Czech people who speak English. And in
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
the Spanish one, yeah, it's Latinos and
Now,
Czechs who speak Spanish as well.
Spanish.
Spanish.
Now, here's my question. So, one set you have 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, three different types of audiences, if I can call them that way.
Mhm.
How's the reaction
To my sets,
to one set?
to one set.
Yeah,
Like, what is the difference in the?
in the reaction. Have you noticed any difference or not?
It only vary. It varies only with the host. Like if the
Mhm.
host really brought it up, like, yes, are we ready for comedy? Then it works.
Uh-huh.
But I've done like my good material, practicing it. The host was talking. And yeah, did you guys come for comedy?
And
What's your name?
the rules
And
are
I started like that, and I started with my ah! I died. I
yeah,
Mhm.
died. So this is why it's so crucial to have the right kind of energy
yeah,
and to really get people there, to
yeah,
that. Are you ready for comedy? If you're not ready, then why are you there? If you don't want to laugh, who brought you here against your will? So it's
Mhm.
only like that.
in
Is there
yeah.
something the hosts do that instantly you hate the guy or
Not
something?
warming up the crowd.
Ah, not warming up the. That's it.
Yeah. I would
Yeah,
say, and when they don't follow my intro, like sometimes they say things that I'm going to say in my jokes, and I'm like, no, that's my job.
yeah,
Ah,
If they
oh.
reveal too much, like she does comedy in Russian, English, and Spanish, and she lived in Russia. No, that's my. I'm supposed to say that. No, stop it.
She's
yeah.
Mexican Spanish, so she lives in a
Yes,
country
like
with corruption,
everything.
or
It's
yeah.
happened. It's happened.
Oh,
So this is why I also need to introduce me like this and say nothing else.
Yeah.
what about you, Ab? Is anything?
I love it. I tell them do whatever you want. Do
But it's
whatever you want.
nothing that pisses you off.
No, definitely they're like one of the most things that pisses me off, really. And I know this is really when they say the next comedian is a woman, it really angers me.
Ah,
Oh,
This really angers me. It's not me like playing, but it's just like why? This is unneeded. And
Exactly.
the second one is, I think, because like doing Russian open mics, you will see it a
Mhm.
lot, which is so they have a script,
Mm.
you know. I don't know if you noticed this, Laura. They have a script and
No.
they follow the script. They get on stage. Hello, this is stand-up comedy. What's your name? They try to follow up with a joke. It's literally this is silence, and then they go, the rules are, and then they say the rules, and then they go, this is the script, Laura. I'm sorry, I'm shattering the glass right now. And they go, now I tell you my jokes. Now I
Oh, when
introduce
they
my
say that, yes, I hate that.
Mm.
Okay, it's not just about the host, but when people say, "Now I'm gonna talk to you about," no, that's bad writing. You
I
should have learned
hate
this
it.
in high school. You
Yeah,
don't say, "I'm going to talk about biology." You just talk about biology. Don't.
yeah, yeah. And one thing which I dislike is when they say they wrote jokes. This is like one of my main things. It's because when they say, okay, these comedians have written jokes, blah blah blah, and for me, because I told you like my three things is chaos, improvisation, and enjoyment. Yeah,
Yes,
and stand up for me is like magic. Don't ruin the magic. Don't ruin the
exactly.
magic trick. The moment
Mm-hmm.
the audience understand that they wrote it,
Yeah.
oh, it's basically in their head, it's scripted. Opposing to, imagine if they see you on stage,
Eh,
they
eh,
just, yeah,
yeah.
just
Yes,
letting it
that's
out.
true. Hmm.
Here's this is something the host did like maybe like last a couple 2 weeks ago or something. This is how I got introduced on stage. And like this guy knows I'm working on like I'm trying to build my hour. I'm like new shit, everything. And he goes, the next comedian is your headliner. He's the funniest guy ever. He's
Oh
gonna
no, no, no.
kill. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, I had to start by saying, lower your expectations, people.
Yes, good. All right, perfect. That's it.
I
I,
I really, you know what? So funny. Yeah, I agree that the next comedian is very funny. The worst thing you can say to a comedian before introducing them. But I dislike, well, again, the idea is that lower your expectations. I don't
I
like.
I also don't like it, but I don't want to even be able to say it by like
Yeah.
I think he fucked up by saying he's funny. Like I has similar thing like yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Comedian goes, next comedian, very smart jokes. I'm like, the
No,
fuck you mean? And
yeah, no,
but
don't.
thank
Mm-mm.
God, like I was doing this stupid bit about like why do pedophiles say you're mature for your age? Like, isn't that the one thing you don't want in a kid? And then like nobody was laughing, and I go, yeah, smart jokes. This got a laugh, and I was like, thank God, like at least
Yeah.
I had to flip it somehow. But yeah.
And one thing is what you said, like you tell them how to introduce you. I think
Uh-huh.
in open mics, I basically do whatever you want because
Yeah.
I never know what I will like how will I
Mhm.
react. I will
Mm.
improvise on it.
Yeah.
Like my like for me, my greatest opener that ever happened is because the host messed up how to introduce me,
Mm.
you know, and
Oh.
he was like next comedian from like he just messed it up. He even messed up my name
Uh-huh.
and all this. And the moment I get on stage, the audience stopped like clapping, and I just was so angry. I just grabbed the mic and I went, "Why did you stop clapping?" And this blew up the room,
Uh-huh.
and then I was like, "Huh." I wrote it down, and that became kind of like my intro for
Yeah.
quite some time.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's like for me. I don't tell them because I never know what they might do. Yes, sometimes it crashes and burns. I agree with you. It's very risky.
Mhm.
But for me, it's the fun of okay, how will I be able to react to what
Mhm.
they will say? Yeah.
All right.
So that's I don't know. This is good therapy session.
oh,
It
nice.
is
Yeah,
it's
man.
fun. We should do
It's
this more
really
often.
we should,
Uh,
man. Yeah.
Laura, whenever you have free time,
Yeah.
we're here. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
We're here. The
We are
chat is
unemployed actually, so
We
that's
should
yeah.
do it like once a week or something. I like this.
that's
Oh,
what we do actually. Yeah,
yeah,
once
yeah.
Aha.
every Monday
Yeah.
we finally got. By
We
the way,
do.
so I wanted to ask everyone here, how was your last performance? How did it go? What
Laura.
what was your
Um, my last performance was last night, and it was actually not great because so it was the reopening of the one comedy club that we have here,
mm-hmm.
and I wasn't taking it too seriously because it was all comedians in the audience and like five real people.
Mm,
So I was like, I'll just go up there and do my
comedy club.
classes.
Yeah.
I like how
Yeah,
you
yes,
I like how you said five comedians and five real people, like
five
comedians.
real. Yes, because if you perform in front of comedians, then it's like, ugh.
Yeah, obviously it sucks.
But real people, yeah, there were not many real people.
Mm-hmm.
So I messed up my first joke,
Mm-hmm.
but then I hit like the fine. So I would say it's a rocky start, but it was all right.
Mm.
Mm.
Thank God the host knew your jokes, so he did them for you.
No, mine was last Monday after
Mm-hmm.
like 2 or 3 months of not like performing.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was fully in Arabic. This is like just fully in
Ooh.
Arabic. Yeah, it went, I would say, bad.
Oh.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Because one, again, I don't like to blame because it's always on me. But the thing is, like for example, the host, he's like a guy in Jordan. He has like 400,000 followers on Instagram, and he just decided the group that they do the mics, let's say, or the stand up here in Jordan. They go, okay, you go host, and he
Mm-hmm.
never hosted in his entire life.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he had literally nothing. Even the rules, he had to take a small piece of paper to read it.
Nice.
All his jokes. I'm standing in the back. My friend who never went to an open mic in his entire life, my friend guessed all his jokes.
Oh, very predictable. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and my friend
Like the punchlines, yeah?
every punchline. And my friend is the least funniest person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the guy. If he recommended any comedian I really liked, I would stop watching that comedian. This is how unfunny he is,
Uh-huh.
you know. And he started guessing his punchlines.
Uh-huh.
And then I was supposed to go first. I told him, put me first.
Yeah.
He
Mm.
didn't. He put someone else. And that guy was a first timer, does 20 minutes,
20.
Girl.
Wow.
Oh my God.
you know, and he didn't flash him. And then I went on stage, nothing, everything. My first joke was that Russia taught me that dictatorship is a good thing.
Uh-huh.
And I go, yeah, and I go from there, and nothing, no laugh. And I just went. And the one thing I really liked is I didn't do like the parasite words.
Yes,
Mm.
good, good. All right.
Yeah, no parasite words. I
Good.
didn't do any of that stuff. I just did my set,
Mm-hmm.
and
Good.
got like, well, there were things that I wanted to test. They worked, some didn't work, but some worked. What I really needed to test, they
Good.
worked. I was like, this is exactly what I want. I know,
Mhm.
I know now back to the drawing board, but I
Yeah.
know that these are anchors for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
So like you know me, Omar, like when for me like because in Russia, and probably I don't know if it's in probably like in
Mm.
Russia we would go to 2 3 mics if we get the chance.
Uh-huh.
I always think of it, oh, I'm spending 2 hours going from commuting from one place to another, or spending
Uh-huh.
4 hours. I have to make use of these 4 hours.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same, like that's where my
Mhm.
head is.
Mhm. Yeah.
What about you, Omar? How was your previous
My
job?
actually, I wanted to because the last mic, the host, it was their first time hosting,
Mm.
because they won like in the like roast battle we had like joke gifts,
Mhm.
and one of the gifts was you host our shitty like mic where nobody comes, everything.
Uh-huh.
And she hosts, and she had like a good room, like actually like around 15 people came, which is
Okay.
great. And I was the whole time I was angry, I was boiling, because I text the host, I'm like, hey, it's first time hosting, you want tips? And they're like, no, another guy gave me tips. And I'm like,
Oh.
okay. No, I was like, okay, that's fine. I
Mhm.
come and I find out the other guy, the tips that he gave her was do these jokes. And I'm like, that's not hosting. You should have told her, get the mics, introduce the comedians, blah blah blah. And she goes and she did some couple of things which kind of pissed
Mhm.
me off. And the thing is, there's something that happened when I first started hosting, which is I fucked up one time and Abed was first. He grabs the mics and for like maybe 5 minutes, he starts yelling at me, or shitting on how
It wasn't
bad of
5 minutes, it was 15, but okay.
yeah, maybe. I was trying to make you a good guy in this story. But yeah, but he was, and I was like, maybe I should do that. And I was like, no, she's probably never gonna host again, so fuck it. So I just
Good.
did my stuff, and
If she wants to host again, then you tell her.
yeah, then I shit on her, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's kind of like because when I started comedy, like in Russia,
Uh-huh.
there was a group, and we were to host, you had to earn it.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Not everyone can host
It
now.
wasn't a fucking prize. There was no. You had to fucking earn it.
Yeah.
Not someone is someone's friends. Blah blah blah. No,
Yeah.
no.
No,
You,
no, no.
you know,
Mhm.
and that was like kind of the difference in it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
you
yeah, Omar.
host, Laura, yeah? You host the Spanish shows, if I remember
Yes,
correct.
yes, yes. I have one next week, actually. I'm pretty excited.
Good luck,
Cool.
good
New
luck.
blood, new comedians. Thank you. Thank you.
How many? Sorry, wait. Now this leads us to more, which I know we're like you need to leave. But
Yes,
sorry,
I have
it's
like
just
5 minutes.
yeah.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah. How many comedians do you get? Let's say new blood and like old blood. How many? What's the mix there? Is it mostly old or new? Like, what's the
Right
ratio of
now,
comedians?
actually, in the English one, it's there's a lot of new people, which is great.
Hmm.
We know everybody's jokes. We know each other's jokes. Like yeah, we need some fresh stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So now, yeah, there's a lot of people who are really interested in it, but we do have a big base of, I would say, more experienced comedians.
Oh, that's
Gotcha.
cool.
Okay, I
Uh,
think since Laura has to leave, we should wrap it up, but we definitely want you back here on the
Thank
oh,
podcast.
you.
You
It
definitely.
were
was really
amazing,
fun.
yeah.
Laura, Laura,
Yeah.
a quick last one.
Yes.
What's your proudest moment?
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Here's your question, by the way.
Yes. Proudest moment, I would say definitely the Vot deal.
Ah,
So they contacted me through one of my friends who works with big stand-up stars. And he texted me and he's like, hey, we should shoot a video because this platform wants to have you on the platform. And he told me how much I was going to get. And I was like, what? I was like, is this a joke? What's wrong with you? He's like, no.
Nice.
And then
very
we went
cool.
through the whole process. Like, really, when I signed the contract, that's when I was like, okay, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very
thank
nice.
you.
I hope you get more and more proud moments like that.
Thank
Share them with us
you.
here. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Laura.
Yes.
Laura, before we wrap up, where can people find you?
Yes. So you can follow me at Laura J. Lopez on Instagram, Laura J. Lopez 1 on TikTok, and OnlyFans. I'll send you a link.
Oh, free?
Is it free?
No, it's a joke,
Uh,
but I will
Ah,
send you the link.
I had my hopes
nice,
up. Yeah.
nice.
By the way,
Okay.
all the links they will be to your Instagram, to your everything. It will be
In
like in the
the
description.
description, yeah, finally got the my fix. Anyways, yeah, people, thank you everyone. Thank you, Laura, for being here.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much, Laura, and we hope to have
Please,
you back
yeah,
very
Thank you.
soon.
Yes, yes, definitely.
please like, subscribe, comment how beautiful
Yes.
Laura is.
Oh,
Uh,
thank
follow us on everywhere. Everything's in the description. My name was Omar Hafnawi.
My name was Abed Owaisi, and with us,
Laura Lopez.
awesome.
Bye.
Thank you so
You.
much.